Hello everybody, how you doing? It's a beautiful night, morning, evening, afternoon. I'm your favorite disappointment, Spider. And today we're doing something that's never been done before. We are ranking things on a tier list with opinions and flawed logic. Never been seen before on the entirety of the internet. Right, right. Now, if you disagree with my tier list, go right ahead into the comments and say why I'm wrong, 'cause I know that I'm wrong. Maybe I didn't think of something. Maybe you question the logistics of what I have said. Who knows? Let's just get into it, right? First up, it seems that we have a relatively simple power. It's either shapeshifting or the ability to transform into animals, or animal to human. I mean, if you're a rat and you need to look like a man, that's perfectly fine. I won't judge you. Anyone can do what they want, and rats are anything. They're an anything. Probably. I don't know. Do rats count as people? Who knows? Anyway, where would we put this? I mean, you can turn into a bird. You can turn into a rat. You can turn into a spider. You can spy on people. You can maul people as a bear. You can be an elegant lion, tiger, anything really. You can stealth around with the grace of a panther. Anything is possible. Of course, this would also bring up, can you turn into dinosaurs? What's the limit? Can you turn into other people? People or animals? When does the shape-shifting end? Is it only organic life or organic sentient? Who knows? Let's just not question it, right? Now, next one. It seems to be the manipulation of electricity. Now, this one is conflicting, right? Because on one hand, it depends how much you can control. On the other hand, if it's infinite and you can also generate it, then you're solving any energy crisis available. You're going to be manipulated by the government. You can kill someone by touching them and forcing electricity through them. So this is probably also an easy A tier. It doesn't make the requirements of S tier. I mean, it's versatile, but it's not as versatile as shapeshifting, so it might be A, B tier. Hmm. Um, I want to hear what anyone else would think. But I think it's an easy A or B. I might switch it later once we get through a few of the other ones. And God, who? X-Men, X-Men, X-Men. Mystique, I want to say. Give me just a moment. And I think I found it. If it is Mystique from X-Men, if I'm saying that name right, then it should be the ability to turn into any human, mimic their voice and appearance perfectly. While, of course, this can, have a wide variety of effects, especially in espionage fields. I don't think it makes the cut for even A tier, because while you have the appearance of the individual, you lack memories or. Hmm. It's either a B or a C tier. It has potential, yes, and especially just for short-term impersonations, but deep espionage, I mean, with proper backup and preparations, it might be possible to use it practically, though we're going to give this a B tier for now, okay? Now, flying. Flying. Mmm. Flying. How does it work? Is it like you're running the whole way, but you're in the air? How does it count towards your body physically? That's the question. I'm not a big fan of flight. Like, if I could fly, sure, fine. If it's gonna take a lot out of me, less fine, less sure, right? Easy D tier. Though, how high can you fly before the limitations of oxygen and temperature just drop you? And how long can you fly? Is there a limit? Is there a speed limitation? Is it equal to how fast you can run? Who knows? But this next one, a clock frozen. We all know what that means. The ability to control ice, right? Overall, an easy. Yes, freezing time. Now, if you freeze yourself, F tier. You freeze the world around you, easy S tier. Can you interact with it? Are you just going super fast that everyone is very slow, like a Quicksilver thing? Who knows? It's either F tier or it's S tier. There is no in between. Maybe C tier. That's in between. But I think we'll go for S tier if we're going for the whole, stereotypical time is stopped. Now only I can move. I have complete control. Gills, right? Water breathing, F tier. Invisibility. Logistically, if we're talking about invisibility, as in the light just passes through you, you cannot see. You are blind. This power has absolutely no practical value. I mean, this one up here, B tier, Mystique's power, right? Turn into any human. That is infinitely better than this. I mean, I have to give it an F tier, right? You know what? No. F tier is specifically for invisibility. Water breathing, or gill specifically, I don't know if that would undermine the ability to breathe air or not. Let's just put that E tier for now. Pyrokinesis, the ability to control fire, I'd assume. Generate fire. I mean, I could range anywhere from C to A, depending on how we consider it. I mean, it's kind of like electricity, except slightly less useful. I'm very conflicted here. You see, pyrokinesis, right? The ability to create, generate, control fire. Its power is limitless. Like, it depends on the heat. Because really, if you didn't just get it enough to burn wood, like 800 degrees or something. Fahrenheit, not Celsius, I'm sorry. I mean, let's just call it an easy B tier. It's below lightning electrical manipulation. Because, electricity, like, if you think about it on a level, all of our thoughts are electrical currents through our heads, right? So, if you can control and manipulate that, you can, theoretically just with a tap shut down someone's entire nervous system. Fire, I will burn you, and it will be painful. You want to die. You probably will die, if not from the burns and the infection that follows, if you aren't treated properly. I mean, sure, you can infinitely generate a certain amount of power, probably much more difficult than electricity, but, I mean, still, it's an okay power nonetheless. This one is confusing, right? Telepathy. What do we consider for its usefulness? I mean, long-range communication, just into each other's brain. Now, realistically, only you have the power, so it's one way. But we could also interpretate this is mind reading, which would be an S tier or an A tier if we're only assuming it's telepathy, and telepathy is most likely one way, then it's an easy AB. If it's frickin' both ways, and you have the ability to comprehend and understand each other on a base level, that would also go against is our thought in our natural language, English, Japan. Yes, Japan is a language. Love the Japan language. Japanese, Chinese, Spanish, all of that. If we can understand that through simple, telekinesis, if it's both ways, realistically it's one way, which would put it down to like C tier. But let's just go on the high end, and you can both communicate to each other and understand each other to a degree, then it's an easy, let's call it B tier for now. Because we'd have to actually see what its constraints are. Oh. This one, the ability to divide oneself. This is a tricky one, right? First off, why? So I think we just put it easy A tier for now. It has so much possibility, so many things it can do. Now, on to this next one. Growing, shrinking. If you've seen Ant-Man, good on you. I have not, and I need to watch it. Now, we have to question, what is the strain on the body for shrinking and growing yourself? Right? You shrink too much, apparently you can get stuck if the Ant-Man movies are to be believed. I mean, no what? How small can you get? How far can you compress your atoms? I mean, something about the size of like a sugar cube. And I mean, if you're keeping your mass and your strength and you're just getting super dense, then that's a pretty okay power. But, and especially if you can grow, but this one only shows shrinking. I mean, especially if you can grow, that's pretty great. I mean, it's not nearly as good as the ones above it. I think I'll put it C tier. If you want, you can discuss it in the comments. It's up to you. Manipulation of one's limbs, especially if they're elastic. That one, there's not much to talk about. I mean, if you can stretch yourself. I mean, given the picture, there is floating involved, meaning that it's almost as if you are no longer constrained to the ground itself, generating both flying with an extra effect, which would probably put it easy C tier, lower B tier. I think we'll put it C tier for now. Super strength. Where are we with this? You can either break through the concrete, you can shatter steel bars, or you can just, I punch so good that you die now. And it's so hard to define super strength. You could be, 1.5 times stronger than the average human, and, that's super strength without any exercise, and I mean, it can probably grow with you. I mean, it depends, because super strength itself, is your entire body strengthened? Does that mean you can jump higher than any man can? Like frickin' 15-foot vertical jumps, or... How are we talking here? I think we can give it a B tier. Like, it's not as good as telepathy could be, but it has potential. Especially depending on how a person would develop it. It really has limitless potential if used properly, or it can be super bad, like E tier bad. Super speed. If we're talking Flash levels of speed, S tier. If we're talking just increased mobility speed, I mean, super strength can give you something similar, but if we're talking like partial Flash speed, then it's A tier. But if we're talking full, like you can move so fast that you somehow are able to reverse time itself, S tier, easy S tier. So it really depends on how we're running this, right? Running. I'm very punny, thank you very much. S or A? I say we go with the A tier for now, though of course you're free to dispute this, depending on how you think the power should be used. Easy A or S tier? Portals. This one scares me, right? Portals. Somehow able to instantly move matter from one place to another. Instantly connecting to distant spaces. First off, what's the range? Are we talking, like, as far as you can see, as far as you can go? Who knows? All I know is that it's an easy A tier, right? Now, you could say, oh, well, I'm gonna frickin' shove this giant 1-foot diameter steel ball in here and have it infinitely build up momentum, and then just have it destroy a building. That's up to you. I mean, what are you going to do against someone who can freeze time? I mean, unless you can somehow put yourself in such a free fall that you reach levels that surpass even the speed of light in time itself. And then in that case, yeah, that's pretty good. The Force. Are we talking push, pull, move object up and down? Basically... Wait a sec. Did I call telepathy telekinesis? I don't know. A tier telekinesis, force. Very fun. Manipulation of things with mind. Very powerful. Space wizard. Ooh. This. D tier. Great. If you can manipulate water, you know what? No. Manipulate water. You ever seen Avatar? Bloodbenders. Terrifying. And logistically, it probably kinda works. And here's the thing. If you can form change it into ice or into steam and manipulate from there. It oddly enough surpasses almost any of these powers except for the Flash one, if it's to the limits, and then the Force one, if it's, the Force from Star Wars. But logistically, this one, broken against any individual, just instant touch and death, right? Amazing. X-ray vision, absolutely worthless. Not invisibility worthless, so E tier. I mean, what? You can see through clothing, oh. You can see through skin, oh. You can see bones, good. Oh no, what's this? Oh, lead? Oh no. All of your plans are foiled. Oh, what's this? A foot of concrete? Oh, woe is I. I can't see anything. Mind control, right? S tier. Need I say more, right? Strengthen anything. Like, how does it work, right? Do you have to go into someone's mind and then you basically take over them, like kick their thoughts into the back of the corner, run through their mind with your thought processing ability, or are you using their thought processing ability? Because in that case, you are basically immortal. If you just take over, your body can be discarded infinitely, but your mind lives on if you retain your thought processing power. But if you don't, then, you'll die out when your body does, and that lowers it to like A tier, but it's still pretty high tier. Now, as well, mind control, right? It's frickin' mind control. Can you control people from your a controlled body, or do you have to be in your original body? Because if that's the case, you could just work your way up to major figures and just basically take over, destroy, do whatever you want in the world through your new bodies. It would create a lot of panic, mass panic, really, and it would be terrifying, right? Now, that's about all the time we have. I've been Spider, and you've been disappointed, probably, right? Uh, well, back to wandering with you, I guess. You had to scroll pretty far, you had to click through a lot of links to get here. So, whatever you're doing, whatever you're planning, have a good time. I've been Spider, this has been my opinion, and I'd like to hear from you. What do you think? Do you think flying should be S tier? You're wrong, but that's your opinion, and I want to hear it. So, see you all later. Goodbye.